What's up, my loves and fellow creators? Uh-oh. Hey, can y'all hear me now? I'm just in here talking and talking. I'll give y'all a little moment there. Okay, loves, let's check this volume. Apparently, I have so many devices connected to this computer. It's at least 3 different microphones activated at any given time. So, before I get started, I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Okay, now we're good. Okay. Woo. All right, that works. That works. So I'll say this one more again. I think I said it 3 times, but it's worth it. Thank you, thank you, thank you all for my birthday wishes. I promise you all I will take a break. I was supposed to have everything wrapped up yesterday so I could take a full day off, but life happens and you just keep doing what you have to do. So we are all good in honor of this April Fool's Day. There is a 10% off sale going on InnateLab.com. April Fools is really a 41% off sale on InnateLab.com. So, in honor of April 1st, 4/1, there is a 41% off sale at InnateLab.com. So, y'all please check that out. Please check that out. I am considering extending it to the weekend just because of how good I feel and how great you all make me feel. Thank you so much. Tiara. Yes, I can't wait to work on this design. I almost totally forgot about this template. So I feel good working on this because I think that I'm going to fall in love with it all over again. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to work. I'm going to close my door so I can hopefully get a little work done. All right, all right. So let's start off with these beautiful photos you sent me, Tiara. Let's go to remove.bg and let's drag and drop our images here. I have some gorgeous images. Here's one. Here's two. 3. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and download these. Thank you, Darlene. I appreciate it. Thank you, Tiara. Thank you, Akira. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Facebook user. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and drop these in my temporary folder. 1, let's see, I should be able to go right down the line. 1, 2, and 3. You see, that took me no time to cut them out. And even with me being well experienced in Photoshop, I find this Remove BG to be a game changer. I need to use my affiliate link. I never used my affiliate link for this one. And I'm like bragging on this website. All right, so downloaded all 3 files there. And I'm going to just drag them. Well, first I need to select my photo. So let's go to the photo. Okay, we'll go ahead and turn off the main number 1 photo. And we'll drag in 1. Let me hit enter to lock in the transformation. I think I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit smaller before I do that. Okay, there's 1. Bring in 2 now. And I might switch these up because I think I like that one there. And then I'll switch this one to the right side. Okay. And then the 3rd image, we'll drag and drop it right there in the middle. Let's see. We might want that in the front to show as a central image. I'm going to crop it down just a little bit, or scale it down just a little bit. And then you know how I feel about these hard lines. Let's go ahead and add a layer mask to just this middle picture, because the other ones have, you pretty much have the full image there. There's a little bit of the foot cut off here, so I am going to add a layer mask there. So like I said, you know how I feel about those hard lines. We can control it. We can do something about it. Let's do it. So I'm going to get my soft round brush here. Make sure that I have my black selected. There's my default switcheroo. My black is in the front. My black conceals while my white reveals. So I'm going to go ahead and fade off down here. And my image is still there. I'm just fading off from the layer mask. All right. So that doesn't look so harsh. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the main image, except I'm going to make my brush size bigger. I'm holding down Control Alt, and then I'm pulling my mouse to the right to make it bigger. I can go up and down to make it a hard brush or a soft brush. And I'm just going to brush across the bottom there just to kind of clean up, make a little gradient there. All right, that's all I need to do for the photo. Let's go ahead. Let me pay attention to the details of what's on the order. Let's see here. All right, so I want to make sure I have any words. I like to copy and paste them. So we're going to copy the name here. And let me just get the first name. Oh, no, this was first and last name. So I'm going to copy here from my source, from my text source. And then I'm just going to, I don't even have to be on the text tool. Most times I can just double click on the text with the regular move tool, paste, and I have replaced that text. I'm going to go ahead and squish it a little bit so we can get first and last name in there. And then for this one, what I'm going to do is kind of bring down my class of 2020 just a little bit. I have the space down here. Just want to make enough space for my my name there. I want that to be the most important thing that stands out. School colors are blue and gold. So what we're going to do is let's come up here to our roses. And I can turn on these levels as well as this hue and saturation change here. And let me just change this to, I'm going to go to my reds, and I'm going to change the hue to see if I can kind of get somewhere that I want, because I want to keep the green in the flowers. If I were overall changing, I probably would do this a little bit different and bring the saturation up so I get a more pure color. And then I'm going to bring the lightness up so I don't get such a dark color. And again, I'm looking for more of that royal blue. There we go, right. Now I'm just playing with shifting the color, shifting the reds only in this image. That's it. Okay. And I think that's a good blue there. If I want to, I can play with the levels, lighten it up a little bit. This just creates a little more contrast with the levels here. And then once I get the color that I want here, I'm just going to Alt, click and drag this one here so that I have a copy of that one. I'll turn off the previous version. And let's see. Of course, we got to change the 2020 to 2021. And this is truly one of those like 10-minute templates. It might seem a little intimidating at first because it looks like it has a lot going on, but most of the work is kind of already figured out for you. Let's see. I see my graduation hands. I think that's it, love. Let me know if you want to see any changes here. You just want to do first? Okay, cool. Well, then that way we can make it bigger if it's just going to be the first name. And Tiara, I will be sending you the Photoshop version of this file. I think it just required the PNG, but because you allowed us to be able to learn from your ordering experience by doing it live on YouTube, I will be sending you this Photoshop file and the PNG for it. Oh yeah, of course, let's color the name. So let's go to the name here, double click on the FX. And right now we have a color overlay that is red. So we can click here and we can actually pick a color from her shirt. We can pick a color from her cheer gear, which is a little bit darker blue. And I think I like that because it incorporates the light and the dark blues. Let me know how you feel about that. Of course, anything that you see, especially if I'm looking over it, let me know. So this particular font is one that I have the demo version of. So I had to create this little apostrophe as a shape. So what I'm going to do is copy the layer styles from the name, and then I'm going to paste it on the shape. Paste layer style. Boom, that's it. I actually took the I here and used it and kind of squished it and flipped it to make the apostrophe. But if you don't need the apostrophe, which I don't see an apostrophe in this name, just go ahead and turn it off. All right, so I'm back. Let's move the word congratulations down a little bit now. There we go. And if you want to turn this one gold just because it's gold theme, then I can take the class of, I can copy that layer style. As a matter of fact, let me see, congratulations might even have a color overlay that allows you to automatically make it gold. Let's do a new one, and it doesn't, so let's do it. Let's make it gold. And what I'm going to do in order to make it the same gold as this one, I'm going to go to the class of, double click on the effects there. And let's see, have a color overlay here. I'm going to pick this color. I'm going to basically just take this hex code here, copy it, and then I'm going to paste that hex code on our congratulations. So it looks more like a yellow gold than a Vegas gold. All right, and right now I have it on multiply. I think it was, what blend mode was it on? I'm trying to make it match the class of. So if you want to make it match, you have to, I just copy the whole layer style and paste the layer style. Make it simpler. And then I'll paste it also on the congratulations. And then if I want silver, which I should have done this first, if I want silver, I'll just make an additional color overlay and just turn off the gold and make this one white, and it makes it silver. I'm making the pattern a little bit bigger in this one because the text is so small. I want to see less of that pattern in there. So now I'm actually going to copy that layer style, paste it on all of these. Turn my gold back on first. Let's do the gold color overlay. Perfect. So I'll copy this layer style, paste it on these two, and let me know if you want any of those back silver. All I'll do is just turn off the gold for one of those. So if you want 2021 still silver or congratulations silver, just let me know. Oh, she's watching. Congratulations, love. Zariah. Yes, everybody congratulate Zariah. This has been a tough year. So I know, and last year as well. So seniors this year, you definitely hats off to you all. This has been better goal. Great, great. All right. Oh, there was something else that I wanted to do on this image. When Remove BG cut this out, I had a problem distinguishing the background from the foreground because see the background was almost flesh colored. So what we're going to do is kind of isolate that area and make sure those lashes are popping, right? So let me do this. Let me right click and make sure I'm on the photo, right? And let's do, we're on this layer here. I'm going to try to use the quick selection tool just to see if it can discern. And let's bring this down to maybe 4 pixels. See if it can distinguish between the skin. And I don't think it is. So we're going to have a little bit of a task here, but it's okay. I would rather get this right anyway. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and separate, because I can kind of tell where the skin is a little bit, or at least infer where it is. I'm going to use my pen tool, because anytime I'm drawing curves, I don't like to just click, click, click. I like to click and drag, create a nice smooth curve. That way, once I create this separation here, it'll be a lot more clear where the lashes are. So I'll make that a selection. I just did a pixel of 1 here. And then instead of deleting pixels, because I don't know if this is exactly what I want, I'm just going to go to the layer mask and I'm going to paint black over this area. Oh, my brush is still huge. Let me bring that brush size down. There we go. And then I'm just going to paint black right there. And then zoom out a little bit, make sure that looks like, yep. Make sure that looked like it filled in where it was supposed to fill in. And now I'm not going to get too exact, but I am going to clean this up just a little bit. And all I'm doing is just taking my brush right now and just cleaning up between the lashes a little bit to kind of give me that defined look. That's not the only way to do it, but I feel like this is a way that we can, quickly make these types of edits. And then on top of this now, because I have a little bit of that brown still there, I'm going to pick the color. So I'm on my paintbrush tool still. I'm going to pick the color up. So I'm holding down Alt, picking the color of her lashes. And then I'm just going to color over this area. Okay. Looks a little goofy right now. But when we right click and create a clipping mask, it's going to clip that layer down to the photo below it. All right, so I'm back on my layer mask. Clean up a little bit here. And I think we're good on that. Let me know how you like the placement, if you want to change the arrangement or anything, or if this is good for you. I think I'm going to move my photos up just a little bit. And my text. I'm going to use the move tool, just push it up just a little bit so that I can possibly see, or do I need to push it down? I want to see where are my graduation images. Okay, so I'll bring my graduation image down a little bit. All right, so if I right click on something, if I don't know where it is, I right click, and I normally have a layer named what it is. There we go. So I want to see those graduation caps. The roses are still there too, but I really want to see, I want to see the caps. I want to see the diploma in hand right there in the center. And I want us to really get that chance to feel like we're celebrating. All right. Awesome, awesome. So let me know if this is good to go, and I'll go ahead and send this to you right now. Like I said, I'll send you the PNG version as well as the Photoshop file, okay? And thank you so much, love. I appreciate you volunteering this to be shared with everyone. All right, so let me see. I think I have one more thing that I have to do, client file today. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to save this. And in order for me to, oh, I was already saving it. I'm going to save it as a PNG, but in order for it to really truly be a PNG, I have to turn off the background layer. So I usually put this little funky color in the back just so I can see, do I have anything that's going to get cut off? Everything looks good inside of that layer mask. All right, perfect. Let's do file, and then I'll do save as. I'm going to save it as a PNG. And if you check your email, love, this will be right to you. The green spot in the flowers is actually a leaf there. This, if you turn off this layer mask here, where's my layer mask? Right here. If I turn it off, you see that you have more image there. Let's go ahead and enable it back. And this is available as an all over design as well. So this one, most of the time, if I have a 13 by 19, I have an all over and vice versa. You're welcome, love. You are very welcome. And thank you. I appreciate you. And I just sent over that. So let's see. I don't know. Link sharing. Yep. Let me know if you got that, love. All right. Something else I am supposed to be done with. This happens every year for my birthday, y'all. It's actually, it's nice and sunny outside, so I'm not mad at that. But every year, April Fool's is either like a quick temperature change. It's usually not a good one. Like it's usually like it gets cold. So it got cold today, whereas it was like perfectly warm yesterday. And then, or it's like raining. So I'm used to that. Let's see. And then it's usually a bunch of stuff that's due near my birthday. I was always having projects due for school, projects for other people's businesses, taxes, all kind of stuff. So like my birthday gets a little overshadowed, but you know, I love what I do, so it doesn't seem like that bad of a thing. But yeah, I'm taking a little half a day today. All right, let's see. I got one more order that I want to get done with you all today. And to also remind you about the sale. So if y'all need any details on that, go ahead and ask questions in the comments, and either I'll address them, or I think Erica's here too. She can help y'all out as well if y'all have any questions there. All right, let's see. Let's go to this order number. And y'all, I cannot wait to dig into my chocolate covered strawberries. Thank you, Erica. I don't know if I'm more excited or the kids. So my love, Erica Kane, the admin extraordinaire for our Innate Creatives Facebook group, and for a lot of the, just general customer service that you all need. And she walks y'all through just about everything that I can do. She's learned how to do, and it's just through really the academy. Not even intentionally wanting to learn Photoshop. So I have to give Erica her props. She has definitely pulled into a position where she can do almost anything that I'm doing right here on the screen. Let's see here. That's not the right number. It can't be the right order number. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting a little nervous. All right. There we go. That's the number. And Erica, I don't know if my mic was working. Thank you, love. I don't know if my mic was working when I was describing this, but as soon as I opened it up, I don't even think I opened it. The kids opened it, and they were already divvying it up because it was, I think it's 12 of them. And they were like, oh, that's enough for each of us to have 3. Oh, that's how y'all do my presents, huh? So I just want you to know that the kids are going to enjoy it as well, obviously. All right, let's see here. All right, so this is a graduation stole here. So let's get into it. I'm going to go ahead and download my files that I need for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is going to be the solo graduation design template. So this is the older version. Graduation style template. Okay. The older version of the graduation stole template. So it's not going to be in this file. It's going to be in this one. Here we go. Download. Now this is a pretty big file. This is not only a design file, but a mockup file, and vice versa. So it's actually, the smart object is its own, kind of independent file. But if you keep it as a smart object, then you're able to. Did I extract it? I don't think I did. Hold on, I'm talking. Y'all know I don't talk and do things well at the same time. Extract all. Oh, look at this gorgeous model as well. I love seeing like beautiful images, high quality images. It just, They make me happy. All right, so I'm actually unzipping this file right now. All right, there it is. That's the solo one. And I'm going to do a save as on the desktop right now, just in case. And I'm going to paste the order number front. That's not the order number. Because I like every time I design something for you all. And now eventually I do have to delete them, but I do keep the design files for a little while, just in case like you ever want let's say you purchase the PNG and you want the Photoshop file because now you want to start getting into the design and you feel confident enough to do that. Then if you write me back and ask me, usually it's just like a little bit of an upcharge. I think it's a $10 upcharge to do the Photoshop file versus the PNG that you requested. All right, so mock up. Let's find the smart object and double click. Let's see what we're working with. We'll probably need a little remove BG. Now this one, the new template for the mock-up for the graduation stoles also has a simultaneously designed t-shirt and a simultaneously designed all over t-shirt. It says maximum file size is 12 megabytes. So what I'm going to do, because it's too big, I'm going to go ahead and just open the file, save a little bit smaller version of it. But these are some gorgeous photos. And maybe even for some of these, I might use some of the background image. We'll see. We'll see. All right, well, that one is taking a little time to open. I hope I'm not having problems right now. I know when I'm streaming, sometimes I have problems with Photoshop that I don't typically have unless I'm streaming. So if anything happens, I didn't just, abruptly cut y'all off. It was probably this All right, y'all. StreamYard just literally cut me down, and I had to restart the computer because it uses up so many resources while I'm running Photoshop that I've been having a little issue with that. So maybe I'll find out some better settings that will help me with that, or hardwire into the internet or something. But I apologize that I dropped off on y'all. I see you, most of you still there. Let me know if you can hear me. Woohoo! Tim says, woohoo, you're back. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate that enthusiasm. And I hear the woohoo. All right, let me see if I can go ahead and open this file up without causing me any issues. I believe I put it on my desktop. Let's see, Photoshop. What are we working with? Meanwhile, I think what it was my photos were a little large. So I need to basically make it a little smaller before I try to bring them into the Remove BG website, because they were above 14 megabytes, I believe or is it 12 megabytes is the limit. And before I open anything else, see my photos here. Right click. I'll check the properties of it just to see. So it's 18 megabytes. So we should be able to at least just crop it down and it should be good. As a matter of fact, I think these I'm going to leave. I like the background. I think what I'm going to do is just kind of fade off the top and bottom, but these I might cut out the image. Yes, let's do that. Let's see what this size is. Properties, 13. I'll probably have to make that a little bit smaller to cut it out. And let's get the properties of this one. This is only 2 megabytes, so this one should be perfect to remove. If I want to make it a little bit smaller, all I'm going to do is go up to image size. And right now this is a 17 by 26, which is great. You know, it's awesome when people give you an image that is too high of a resolution. That's a good problem. So if I want to make it smaller, then I can just pretty much make this about 10 by 15, 240 pixels is perfectly fine there. And then when I go to save as, I'm going to save it as the same file name, but just like with a 2 at the end, so I'll know this is my second version. And see, now it looks like it might be around about 5 megabytes. So we're going to see. I'm going to go to our folder. Let's check it real quick. Right click. Let's go to properties. And now it is about 5 megabytes. Huge difference. I could do the same thing to these. And as a matter of fact, I probably should, just so that it doesn't bog down this file for the user. I think they're not actually purchasing the file. But so since they're not purchasing the file at all, they just get in the graduation. So I'm not going to worry about optimizing it because I probably won't keep the file. All right, so I make sure to save this. Oh, it's recovered, of course. All right. So that's the other thing too. When you're working in Photoshop with these large design documents, I always recommend, closing down anything that you don't have to have open, because Photoshop is one of those jealous programs. It likes to have all the resources, all the attention. So we're going to go ahead and remove the background from this image. Not that one, this one. Beautiful. And this one. I love this image. Oh, a good image makes a great difference when it comes to your end product. They say that garbage in is garbage out and quality in is quality out. And I know a lot of times we have to deal with some, kind of bummer images just to get a project done. But I usually do my best to convey to people, hey, this image would look a lot better if we had a little bit better resolution image. And most of the time they'll work with me to find, well, maybe mom has the better version of that since I screenshotted a screenshot off of somebody's Facebook page. They'll make a little more effort when they see the type of design and it's going to look like. And that's how you can kind of start controlling the quality of your products. Let's see, is it going to be a 13 by 19 for all size shirts, even if you're using roll media? Yep, Erica is exactly, yep, that is Erica there. Yeah, she's telling you the truth there. So if you use the roll media, it's going to tell you exactly what size paper you need for that specific one tile that you're printing. So it might be a 13 by 32. Matter of fact, I think for the large shirts, it's 2 13 by 32 sheets, right? And then 1 13 by 13 sheet. Y'all know I can't do nothing, two things at a time. I cannot multitask. So I'm trying to do that right now, download that image. So yeah, it'll let you know exactly what size towel, and then that way you can pre-cut your paper. You can have it ready. If you had 2 13 by 32 sheets and one little 13 by 13 sheet, that will save you so much more heartache when it comes to trying to tile all of those images together. All right, let's see. But the 13 by 19, I use it all the time for a large. You just have to make sure that you do the process right, and you line up your pieces just the right way. All right, so I think we are ready to start building our art now. So I'm going to double click here on our smart object. I have my nephew Levi here with me watching as well, so he's learning and helping me out today. He's being a big helper for me because he doesn't want me to work all day. He wants me to take some time off, so he's helping me do laundry. He's the sweetest and the smartest and the coolest,
the biggest.
Yeah, and the most handsome. That's my nephew.
I'm the biggest computer.
Yep, the biggest head. That's cool. That means you got the biggest brain. Let's see here. So, let's go ahead and take a look at what our theme is here, so we can make sure that we cover that. Let's see. The theme is the green, white, and black. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and change out one of my main images here. So I'm gonna right click on this photo, and I'm just gonna go ahead and turn that whole folder off. All right, let's see. I'm going to leave it on until I bring my images in so I can resize my images to replace them. That way I don't have to do any guesswork. So let's go ahead and pull those in. See image number 1. And it's going to come in huge. These are high quality photos. And then image number 2 is the graduation gown. And that one is probably going to set the mood as far as the color and the theme. So I may place that one on the other side. So that's the first thing that you see. We'll just see when we start layering the images. And then, of course, we have the 2 large files. I probably should have brought these down in resolution, but what I'm going to do is once I bring them in, I'm just going to rasterize them so that they don't try to maintain that big data from the original smart object. And that's what you'll notice too. Whenever you drag images in, they're automatically smart objects. Okay. And I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger, even though I'm going to keep some of the background there. I share a birthday with your oldest son. Well, happy birthday and April Fool's to him too. The April Fool's joke that I know of, the biggest one that I know of, is that my mom had told my dad that she couldn't have any more kids. So yeah, I am the ultimate April Fool's joke. Explains a little bit of my goofiness. All right, so like I said, I'm going to go ahead and rasterize these 2 here. Just because they are huge and I don't want them to bog down my image right now. But the other thing that I'm going to do is create a layer mask for them each. So I have to do that one at a time. So on this top one, I'm just going to grab my brush here, make it bigger, and I'm choosing black as my default color and my foreground color. And Lord, I meant to stay on the layer mask. So when you paint black, black conceals, white reveals. So all I'm doing here is just kind of picking a little bit of fade off so that if I were to layer this, I keep a little bit of the background because it makes sense with the water. Let's see, I'm probably going to place these below the pop-out images. So let's see. I'm just playing with placement. And this is why you charge more for more pictures. It's not that it takes that much more time to design or to, to cut out the images. What it takes is the time to think of your design. And, I might place it in the background because now that I think about it, it's going to be harder to cut out. Let's pull this one here. Looking good. And then I want to make sure that I'm within my printable area. I don't want to cut off anything important. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my guide so I can pay attention to that. All right. And what you'll see, the inside the blue area is your text and photo safe area. Inside of the red area is something that will almost likely get cut off. But if it's inside the blue or if it's touching on the blue area, it is possible it will get cut off. So if there's anything that I don't want to get cut off, especially the text and certain features, like, I don't want any of the face getting cut off. If I can avoid it, I avoid that at all costs. To get my placement. And then, of course, I'm going to fade this one off. Right, and I haven't faded the other image just yet. I want to make sure this is good placement. All right, so far so good. I think I might switch the white image to over here and the green image on the other side. This StreamYard is like really stressing my computer out. I guess because it's doing the same thing with the live stream. It's just really, I can hear it pushing my system. All right. Control T. Now I can make this one a little bit bigger. All right, there we go. Hit enter to lock in that transformation. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and clean up around here, maybe pulling down this this brick just a little bit because it's taking up a lot of the design image. You won't see the color there. So I'm just going to fade it off a bit here. Same thing with the water down below. And it doesn't matter too much on this outside. Right. And once I get this how I want it, I'm going to go ahead and right click and apply the layer mask. I'll turn off my lower images, and of course now I need to fade off this one as well. But you can see how like having the water feature and the brick wall feature there does kind of add to it, because if I would have just cut her out, then I would be missing that right now. All right, same thing for this one. I'm going to make it just a little bit taller. and then we'll fade off. So we have to make sure that we're on the layer mask here to fade that off. Going across the top here. And the bottom. And then I'm also going to clean up here just in case I have a little odd overlap. I still want it to look clean. All right. That looks like a good placement of our images. And like I said, you should charge more for more images because you have to kind of play a little bit more with it to make it visually appealing. So I do a per image upcharge after like a single photo, or if the template has 2 photos in it. But even for the second photo, I charge more just because you're going to have to play with where it goes. Let's see here. Let's get the name here. And all I'm going to do is go back to my move tool here, double click on the first name, or I guess I'm going to right click on the first name. Paste, and then I like to copy and paste. I don't like to get people's details wrong when it comes to, especially special details like names, dates, especially you're talking about remembrance designs and things where people may not, immediately notice those type of issues because they're processing a lot. So if you can copy and paste, that is definitely your best bet. All right, so for this one, we're going to do 2021. And I'm not going to put the class of down. I'm just going to grab this 20 right here. And I'm going to Alt click and drag so I can make that a 21. All right, let's see what else we need. Green, white, and black are the colors. So I'm going to take this 21 and we're going to go ahead and make it the theme colors. So let's go ahead and double click on the FX here. Now for the color overlay, I'm going to choose the green color here. And I don't believe I wasn't given a logo. Oh, yes, I was. So I like to pick the colors from the logo versus the clothing. So I'm going to pull the logo in. So we'll right click. Let me cancel this. I'd rather pick the colors from the logo anyway. So I'm going to right click on the logo. Double click on it. And then I'm going to replace the current logo by just dragging and dropping right onto the artboard. I'm going to do place embedded. Something's going on where my shortcut isn't working right now. And then what I need to do, because this is not a PNG, I'm going to have to clean it up a little bit, take out the background. But you also see I have a little bit of the image kind of snubbed off here on the nose. What I'm going to do to kind of combat that right now is I'm going to create. I'll just create a little inside space that I'm going to take up. So right now, I'm just going to grab my magic wand tool. Let's make sure I'm on contiguous. Contiguous means you want to select the white that's touching. If I do non-contiguous, it's going to select white everywhere in my image. So I'm holding down Shift and adding to that selection. And then I'm going to select the inverse. So now I have the inside meat selected. But I noticed that it selected this white. The problem is if I don't exclude this white, if I don't exclude this white right now, then I'm going to have issues with how it presents later. So let's do, instead of Shift now, I'm going to hold down Alt. Alt gives me the opposite. So before, when I held down Shift, it's going to add to my selection. I'm using my little polygon lasso here to clean this up. And this might be something that you have to do depending on, how people give you logos. It's a little tricky around here. But I'm okay with the little bit of white that is giving me because I am going to put a white outline around this just to ensure that I have trapped all of the white. Oops, I was supposed to do Shift because I selected the inverse. My bad, loves. Let me go ahead and add that in there. There we go. There we go. All right, and then I have this little part of the snout here where I want to add to the selection. There we go. All right, cool. So now that I have everything selected, I'm going to go to select a mask because I want to make sure that my outline is smoothed out and I don't have any kind of bumpy edges. Let's do a tad bit of smoothing here. Let's say okay. And I'm going to go ahead and create a layer mask now. I turn off my previous logo. And that looks decent, but I'm going to add a white outline just to kind of make up for the fact that there was an original white outline on here. So I'll go to my FX, go to a stroke. That just placed a black outline. I'm just going to turn that color. I'll turn it red just so that you can see how thick it is. All right, so I'm going to pull this size down. I'm leaving it red just so I know how thick this outline is going to be. That looks good to me. Then I'm going to make it white. All right, so when I close out of this now and I hit yes, it's going to update the image. Oh, I lied. It needs to be a PNG. So let me go ahead and just delete this layer here. And I'm going to go ahead and, since it's only one layer, this should save as a PNG. Hit yes. And let's see if it updates and how it looks. Here we go. All right, and I'm going to go back because I think, oh, it's already saved it as a PNG. So I'm going to leave it alone. Now this green is a little different from the green in the road, but I like to maintain whatever the colors are in the logo. So I'm going to go to the 21 here, and like we were doing before, go to the effects. Let's do the color overlay. I'm going to pick the green because anytime you hover over the artboard, you're allowed to pick up whatever colors you touch. Okay, let's go ahead and go with the stroke here. And I think it's black, white, and green. So I'm going to go with black here just to make that stand out a little bit more. All right, and then with the solo colors here, I have my abstract colors here. All right, so each of these has a color overlay. So I'm thinking where the red is, I'll turn it off and turn it back on just to make certain that that's the, looks like that's the white. I'm gonna leave white in there, definitely. Let's see, so the secondary color right now, that is, I'll turn it off and turn it back on just to show you. I think it's the blue there. Yep, that's the blue. So we'll do that one as the black. I'm gonna double click on color overlay. And instead of the blue, I'm gonna add a new one and make this one black. All right, and then of course the back color, which is the main abstract line, we'll double click on the color overlay there. Go ahead and add a new color overlay, and this one we're going to make that green. All right, and then as far as the speckles down here, I'll right click on those. We'll go to the paint splatter. And there's a color overlay here. We can change the existing blue, or we could have duplicated that. And again, I'm going to hover over my artboard, pick that green. And there we have it. And then of course we have this background area where the grunge is. And I'm just going to duplicate this gradient, and then I will turn off the previous gradient, and then we're going to do our new gradient, which right now it goes from black to blue. And I'm just going to replace that blue, double click on that color stock, and choose the green instead. All right, and just to kind of see how everything looks before I commit, let me make sure that I have all the text that I'm supposed to put on here. Nope, I need to put the school on there. And because I don't have the high school on here, let me take the name, I'm going to duplicate it. I'll move it over here, and then I'm going to use this as the area that I'm going to put the name of the school. So copy. And I will need to make sure that this fits within this blue area. So I am going to resize this down a little bit, because I don't want to take the chance of losing my words. And I'm holding down Shift to to change the proportions disproportionately. So I'm squishing it. And I normally don't do that, but if I need to make sure that something doesn't get cut off, I might do a little squishing. Right, and then for the top text, I think I'm going to make the name of the school a little bit bigger than the word high school. So I'm just going to double click that top text and make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to make it 130 instead of 111 or whatever was there before. All right, and then I'm going to increase the spacing here since I made my top text a little bit bigger. Oh, we got another April Fool's in the house. Happy birthday to your youngest sister today. I didn't know it was this many April Fool's babies. All right, let me get this 21 now. So I'm thinking I will do, let's see, class of, we do want the 2021. It just says make the cap and gown smallest. What? Okay. Well, I will definitely oblige. So she wants this one, the smaller one, the cap and gown image. All right. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. And then I'm gonna make this logo just a tad bit smaller. So I make sure that it doesn't get cut off, but it's still very prominent, still looks good. And I could switch it up. I can put the logo up top and then the text down below to kind of make it look like the left and the right have a little bit of variation. And then I can take my text and let it layer on top of my logo. All right. And then I think I'm going to put this class of here. So I want to go back to my original class of, no, I don't have to do that. Let me just copy this one. I'm going to take the number 21 and I'm going to duplicate it, duplicate the layer. Double click on the 21 here, or the T for the 21, and I'm going to type class of. And I'm just going to decrease this size. And then, of course, I'm going to pull down a little bit of the effects because I feel like when I made that smaller, I may need to bring down the stroke size there. So I'll double click. The stroke now is 15. Let's make it 11, see how that looks. I think that looks better. And then I'm going to bring down the depth of the bevel and emboss a little bit. I think that works. And the stroke. Oh, we already brought down the stroke, so we're good. All right. And I'm just going to Control T, squish it in a little bit because I don't want to get anything cut off from that blue. And that makes, I think that makes this one good to go. Now, if I'm getting ready to print this, and I'm doing some updated graduation files too. So those will be available in the Academy. Let's see here. I want to make sure that everything fades off regardless of if I think it's in the bleed area or not, because I don't want to take that chance. I'm going to my layer mask for the left top image, grab my paintbrush with black loaded up, and I'm just going to kind of fade off the edge of the image here. All right, and same thing for this image. I'm going to right click and apply the layer mask so it gets rid of all the pixels. So now that is a destructive method, but I want it to be a smaller file. So once I have what I need out of it, I need to be on a layer mask when I'm painting. Here we go. All right, so in order to prove this to the customer, I need to save, and I should have been saving this whole time, doing Control S, Command S if you're on a PC, a Mac, and then you could also use File Save. My little lazy way of doing it is to hit this little X and then hit yes to save, but that has gotten me in trouble before. Sometimes I'm talking or doing something, and instead of hitting yes, I hit no, and then it doesn't save any of the changes that I just did. So let's see, we're going to go ahead and update this now and proof it. So now I can close out of this one. It's not going to ask me if I want to save it, and it should have updated all the stuff here. And I think the only thing they need is the stole. They don't need, let's see, don't need the cap or the fan. Cool beans, cool beans. I just turn those off in the mock-up. And I'll even turn off the back of the stole because it's not that important at this point. We're going to turn off the cap. Let me go ahead and group these so I can turn them off together. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and prove this, but I will show you how I print it because that's going to be my next step. And then I'm going to log off for the whole rest of the day, like literally get off the computer. Can you believe it? I hope that's not an April Fool's. All right, so if I were to print this, I'm going to double click here. And you have some options here, like if you're going to do a 13 by 19 or you're going to print the long sheets. I print on the long sheet, and with that being said, all I do is first I go File. Well, let me do this. Let me turn on my guides for a second, just so I can show you the paper size. All right, so this is, if you design everything to be within here, you can do this as a 13 by 19 design and just turn on, there is a 13 by 19 background. And that's your 13 by 19 background. If I turn off the all over background. Okay, so you see that you can make it simple and make it fit in 13 by 19. You'll have a little bit, a good little deal of white right at the shoulders and white right at the bottom. But if you save a lot of heartache, you only have to do really one press, because you still take this one 13 by 19 page, you press it across the two sides of the stole at the same time, and you're done. But if your client is expecting more, they want it printed all the way to the top, then of course, we're going to bring back our all over, and then we're going to turn off the 13 by 19. And this is what I'm going to do because the client's expecting that. All right, so when I get ready to print now, of course, this is my 13 by 19 inch paper. I can turn off my guides here. Depending on which size stole you're doing, I am doing this on a 60-inch stole. So I usually give myself about 32 inches of paper. Let's turn the guides off. And now I just go ahead and file save as. I'm going to save this as a JPEG. Because I don't print from these big old Photoshop files. I never print from my big Photoshop files. I print from a flattened JPEG, PDF, or PNG version, depending on what I have available. So since I'm done with this, I'm going to hit yes to update the art there. I'm going to save this as a JPEG for proofing the customer. Give it a moment to update that file. And before I print anything, of course, I have to proof it. But like I said, I want to show you what it looks like to print this. So I would open up this JPEG version, and if you did file as JPEG, it's going to be the exact size it needs to be. And then I'm just going to do a crop here, and I'm going to tell it that I'm doing 13 inches, and the height is going to be 32 inches. Oh, actually, let me do 33 inches, just so I can give myself a little bleed room here. And what I'm most concerned about here is that I'm getting my entire image from the top here, because I wanted to have a little bit of white there so I don't have to completely fade up into the seam. All right, and that's good right there. I hit enter to finish cropping. And now I have an image that is 13 by 33 in proportion. You can check my image size here just to kind of check. Now, it's not the exact size, but this actually lets me know I don't really need 33 inches. I could probably get away with 32 because I like to give myself 1 inch here. And then I have plenty of space on the sides of the paper so that I don't have to worry about trying to print borderless. So this is perfect. I can go to File. Let me go ahead and zoom in though. The File, Print, and of course, Then I will set this up to print off of my 16650 or my 7210, 7720, whatever printer that you have. You just want to make sure that you follow the print settings that I tell you in the calibration video. So just go to youtube.com/innatelab and type in the word calibrate, and you'll see all of my settings. So I'm going to set it to, I have one here for 13 by 32, and then I put the size first, then I put the type of ink, which is this True Colors ink, and it's from Innate Lab, and then it's sublimation. So I tell it the name brand of the ink, where I get it from, and what type of ink. So if I ever need to come back to it, you see I only use True, and True sublimation ink is on sale right now, 41% off for April Fool's Day. So if you've ever been wanting to try it, now is that perfect time. So since I already have these settings set up, I'm just going to go over briefly what they are. The document size, I chose it to be a 13 by 32. That means I'm going to get my roll media and I'm going to cut it a little bit. I'm going to cut it to 32 inches. So I don't even have to give it anything more than that because I'm already good on an inch. I'm going to choose the plain paper as the type. The quality is set to high. Now this is for my 16650. And then I go here to more options. I make sure that it's on mirror image. The bidirectional printing allows it to print faster. Then for the color correction, this is very important. For custom, I go to advanced and I turn it off completely. I don't want the printer to manage my colors. I want Photoshop to manage my colors. So this is why I tell you, if you do nothing else with Photoshop, but use it as a color management system, it will be great for you. So I'm good on that. I'll hit OK, and then I'll show you my settings for the 7710 and 20 setups. Those are probably most common. Same thing here. I'm going to go to my print settings. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and set the settings pretty much manually. So I'm going to say paper cassette. Nope, it's going to be the rear paper feed slot because I'm going to be using roll media. And then for the document size, I'm going to go to user defined and I'm going to make my own size. I'm going to call it 13x32. It means 13 by 32. The paper width is going to be 13. The paper height is going to be 32. I'll hit save, and now you'll see that there's a 13 by 32 there. I still make sure that it is on the plain paper setting. Now for quality for the 7710, what I've noticed, I like to go to, instead of high, so high is here. If I go to more settings, there is a setting that is higher than high. It's called quality. So on plain paper with the high quality setting, I found the best results. So I'm going to go to OK for that. Go to my more options, make sure mirror image is selected. Go to my color correction, make sure I select advanced and no color adjustment. Go ahead and hit OK here. You'll watch the preview, kind of let you know, okay, you have plenty of space around the edges. For color handling, you're going to choose Photoshop. And I'll let it go ahead and choose the Epson Inkjet Printer 07 printer profile. And that's my setup. What I would suggest you do, John, is there's nothing special you have to do other than just change out the cartridges. And right now the kits are on sale. So the ink, let me go ahead and pretend like I'll print that, but I'm just going to hit done. And then I'm going to save this because I'm save it as my JPEG because that's all that I really need. All right, so real quick before I leave, let's go to innatelab.com. If I were to recommend a stole template pattern right now, I would actually recommend the one from the Academy, just because I designed the other one last year and I've gotten better at teaching. I've gotten better and I've improved as you all have improved. So I've gotten to where I think I have simplified it and given you a bonus. So this one, as you design the stole, it also simultaneously designs the t-shirt. So you have those photos. So when you update in one place, it'll update it the other place. It's a little simpler setup because what you do is And I did a demo for this one. So you'll see the demo. If you just type in 125 demo on the innatelab.com / I'm sorry, the youtube.com / innate lab, you can put in, just put in 125 and you'll see me demo this whole template setup. And this course, if you're a member of the Academy, if you're a new member, then you can unlock it early, or you can just wait. It'll unlock for free for you if you wait 7 days for each of these to unlock in sequence. But if you can't wait that long because you don't want to wait 21 weeks for this template to unlock, you can use your 75% off code if you're VIP. This template in class will end up being $7.50 for you. And then if you our $30 member, it ends up being, I believe, $9.90, so under $10. And you'll have that kind of powerful template, but you also have the class that comes with it that literally shows not me going through the steps, because I do that on YouTube. I show you all the steps to go through these templates for free on YouTube. But with the class content, it's showing you your own levels of, different levels of beginner to intermediate Photoshop users who are also applying this same process in a live session, and you get to see all of those steps, all of those mistakes, and even the repetition helps some people. But there are 2 template patterns here. Let me type in, I'll just type in skull and show you. Okay, so there is the solo and then there's the watercolor. So the watercolor design, and I'm just gonna zoom in just a little bit here. The watercolor design is a little bit, I think both of them kind of go. You could say one's, more classy or subtle, and the other one is a little more edgy, but I think they both could go for edgy or classy. So yeah, those are the older templates. They were developed about a year ago. This one is my new one, and it's a bit more user-friendly than the one that we did today. And when you watch the video, you'll see why. All right, so that, I was going to show you the ink, love. I totally forgot. I'm sorry. John, this is the ink that you'll be looking at here. More than likely, if you tell me what kind of printer you have, I can let you know. But these are the cartridges. I have a video on how I fill up these cartridges. I do remove the air from the cartridge. It's called priming it, and it makes you have less issues with dried up print heads, with air getting in your system, with those little drips and spills and spitting of ink that occurs. It helps out with that too. This is the kit here. So right now the kit is normally, and these are 127 milliliter bottles of ink. So these are not 100 milliliter bottles of ink. So they already come up with 27% more ink than you are typically getting when you order 100 milliliter of each color set. Then on top of that, it is really, it's high quality, high pigmented sublimation ink, and it has the reason why we named it True Colors is because it has true color representation. It's not going to be exact, but as far as sublimation is concerned, it's going to be so much more true than most of the competition out there. So it's high quality ink. It is also the coloration that you need to kind of just let Photoshop do its thing and just run and print. With this ink, you're not going to get those blurples, those blue purples that you think is blue on your screen, but when you go to press it, it ends up purple. And if you're doing any kind of sports or team gear, you know how frustrating that is. The reds are really good, true reds. They're not orangish reds. They're not pinkish reds. They're red reds. And the black is truly black, and it has good coverage. It has very good like stability of black. So it doesn't look like a reddish black or a greenish black. It looks like a black. And of course, the yellow is really intense as well. So these are all great quality inks that can make a difference between what you spend your time kind of playing with when you are either learning sublimation, or if you want to cut down on some of the inefficiencies that happen, especially in the color realm, then I think that this type of upgrade setup will definitely help you. So right now, everything's 41% off, and I think that's an excellent time to try it out, see what you see what difference you can imagine. What I'm telling you probably will help you, but I want to really see what your results are. right? And the empty cartridges are on sale too. So I tell people to always have a blank set of backup cartridges just ready to go. You never know when a chip might go out, or you might, like if you miss and scratch the chip, it's no longer any good. It won't read in the printer, and you're going to be holding up all your orders because of a little bitty green chip card, or a little chip. And in that case, just have your set of extra cartridges available, and these are on sale as well. So if you're looking to switch up, I would do your ink or do a kit plus an extra set of cartridges. Thanks, John. So and definitely let me know like your honest opinion. I'm not gonna publicize the ink that you said that you're using now, but and I don't cut anybody else's stuff down. I only big up what we're working on. That's it. So let me know how that works out for you, if you can compare it, because you know what you've been working with before, and you know what issues or what strengths that particular product you've been using has. So I would love to hear your experience once you try this ink. Let me know. Okay. Oh, yes. I can change the TikTok course to pre-recorded now. Facebook user, I am using this thing called StreamYard, and honestly, I like StreamYard, but I think it's mostly meant to just like do webcam views, because when I'm running Photoshop with the StreamYard, it's a struggle. But I mean, we're here. It shut us down one time, but we're here. All right, loves. Oh, I have got to go. I have had such a great time with you all, and I did want to spend a little bit of my birthday with you because I appreciate y'all. But I will check in tomorrow with what we're going to do for class on Sunday. We're going to do the Zodiac Sunday, okay? So, what we're going to do, last time we were supposed to go from all over to, we were supposed to go from 13 by 19 to all over, and we ended up doing the reverse. So this week we're going to start from a 13 by 19 design, all over design, and I'm going to show you how to decrease it into a 13 by 19 design. So if you have a whole family of shirts, right, and some people, let's say some people want the all overs because they're going to be the main family that is going to be paying $40 and $45 plus for a shirt, but then you have the people that want the $20 shirts. Instead of you buying a 13 by 19 template, redesigning it, and separately buying an all over template, I'm going to show you how to take the all over template, break it down, like after you finish designing it, break it down to a separate 13 by 19 file. And then that way you have a editable version of the all over, and you have an editable version of the 13 by 19. Yes, Simply Beautiful. I'm going to make that announcement. We're definitely going to do 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because your girl is tired of waking up Monday morning and hitting the snooze. I don't even know if I can call that waking up. So yes, it's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this time. And we're going to try that schedule out for a little while just to see if most of us are better accommodated by that schedule. All right, love. So I will check in with y'all tomorrow, and I will see y'all Sunday in class. Those of you who are enrolled in the Innate Academy VIP, the class will be available with the coupon code usually sometime on Saturday, and it's a short window of time that is open because it's only meant for people who are going to do the live sessions. So I will definitely let you all know that tomorrow, but in the meantime, y'all enjoy this sale. I hope y'all enjoy this beautiful weekend, and I will check on y'all tomorrow. So until next time, thank you, Charmaine. Thank you. And thank you, Shika V. I appreciate y'all, and Simply Beautiful. Appreciate y'all for my birthday wishes, just for your support in general. And I got a little special guest that's going to help me close this out. So appreciate y'all. I love y'all dearly. And until next time, what we do, Levi?
Bye.
Oh, you thought you was going to hang with me. Okay. Bye, y'all.